Oh no, whole door just fell off, y'all. But I just can't bring myself to do it, right? So this is where I keep my comfrey fertilizer. And just as a FYI, them white moths is still out here. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this whole piece over in the orchard area. I can't possibly cut them, I'm not going to. Being a content creator ain't as easy as people think. Forgot the snacks. I'll get them. Give me a moment. Oh no. Whole door just fell off, y'all. Totally not a part of this video. But hello, welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. No, 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 no. Get back in there. That's tough. That's what I get for putting things on. Get back in there. Oh, man. Unfortunate, really. We'll just lay it there for now. But between now and the end of the week, we gotta fix that door. Anywho, I was out here getting their food and their water and stuff. So let me do that and then we're gonna get on to the other things that I need to do. I was planning to record it, but now I gotta fight that door every time I go in and out. I'll be right back. So I know I said on the next video we were gonna pull the peppers, but I just can't bring myself to do it, right? Because there are some that are really still producing. And I did look at the forecast. And while the mornings are cold, we still do have a good amount of days that's gonna be like today, which I think today we're in the 70s. And so we still have some days that's like this. And I just don't want to do it. I'm not going to pull them. We're just going to let them go until the frost comes, which I'm not sure we didn't already have a frost, a slight frost. I'm going to show you why I say that. Like, you see this one? And it could just be disease. I'm not sure. But it's like really brown on the edges. But it quite possibly could just be disease. So we're not going to pull them right now. We'll come back. We'll pull them. Also, I'm going to try overwintering. I thought about it. I have the smaller greenhouse where I can put them where they can be away from the elements, and I'm going to try overwintering. And I feel like the only problem that I really see is that the water hose, I'm gonna have to detach it. So I'm gonna have to find a way to make sure that I water them. I do think that I could try to overwinter a few peppers. So we are gonna try that. And so when I do go to pull these, I will show you how I'm gonna overwinter them. Someone asked for me to show them how I continue to use the soil that's in my bag because they normally don't have a lot of soil left. I will show you that too. Basically, I just make sure I get all of the soil that was on the roots off of the plant and back into the bag. As it relates to the bags being full of roots, I break my soil up, and then over the winter, most of the time those roots break down. I just don't leave the whole plant in the bag the whole winter. And I do pull, I do not clip it at the bottom. So that's what I do, but when it's time to pull the peppers, I will absolutely show you that. I want to show you an update on the strawberry bed. Still looking as magnificent as ever. Not a whole bunch of plants. The plastic is still there. Absolutely still loving it. Now, they did go through a little bit of shock, which is fine. They'll come back. They'll be just fine. Someone mentioned, well, two people at least, mentioned that it would be easier for me to burn holes. I do have a lighter. I did not feel like doing it that way. And I don't have a blowtorch. And so that's why I cut the holes. If you're new here, you might not know that I am not particular. So as long as I got holes into that fabric and got those plants down, I was fine. And if I have to pull a few weeds, that'll also be fine for me. But it won't possibly be as bad as it was. It can't possibly be as bad as it was. Update on the things that we planted in the bags. They are still looking amazing. We're not having any kind of pest pressure, crossing my fingers, but they're looking amazing. I'm pretty excited about that. The other update are the carrots have been thinned, but you can see they're starting to set back up, so that is a plus. And then the carrots in this bag, we didn't really do much to them because the potato is gonna die and we didn't get a lot of germination anyway. Update on the garden beds, they look about the same. But guess what is growing on these, like, halfway leaved plants? I don't even know if that's a thing, what I just said. I made it up. But anyway, We're getting kohlrabi, y'all. Let me show you this kohlrabi. It doesn't hardly have any leaves on it. And someone also mentioned that I could give the pest-eating leaves to the chickens. When these plants rebound and I get more leaves on them, I more than likely will, but right now they need all the leaves they can get so that they can photosynthesize. So I'm not gonna pull any of the bad leaves right now, but you know, if there's still, you know, something that the chickens can eat, then I will once these plants rebound. Which brings me to one of the things we're gonna do today. We need to fertilize. I never did fertilize last week. I was out of town this weekend. I left on Thursday. I'm back now. Amazing time. It was an amazing time away. It was a solo trip and I did the things that I like to do. I went fishing and I sat around and I did nothing. And I spent a lot of time out in nature too. So let me show you the greenhouse as well, which I'm super excited about this greenhouse because I had no luck in here in the spring. So spring or summer, let me show you. Look at that. How amazing, right? Nothing is dying. We have a few bites, but I did come in here. Right here is another one, and I checked and I didn't see anything. I do need to water in here, but just in general, these plants are growing. Like they were much smaller when we put them in. They are growing, and when I am spending time in this greenhouse this winter, I will have some greenery around me. For one, because these plants don't mind the cold, and for two, they'll be inside, so most pests aren't going in there right now. They're paying attention to my outside garden, and so I'm pretty excited about that. All right, so what are we doing today? We're gonna harvest any peppers that we have, and we're going to fertilize. I need to cut the roses, right? But just look at them still showing out. I can't possibly cut them right now, can I? I can't possibly cut them. I'm not going to. But soon we will have to get those cut. But they just look so beautiful, and maybe I will cut them after the first frost because that, you know, maybe I'll cut them after the first frost. The basil is still in that bed because I didn't pull that yet either. Another thing, the basil looks like it may have frost. 1 second. See the brown? It feels like we had a small frost. It really does, but who knows? Or they've dried out and I missed those. I really don't know. Y'all, when I say I garden and learn at the same time, that's exactly what I do. Ooh, that smells good. That smells really good. So, yeah, the garden is still gardening. The bags and the things in the greenhouse may be my saving grace. I'm still going to fertilize these beds. You know what I was thinking? As much as I want to just fertilize with comfrey tea right now, I feel like because these plants took such a hit that I should get some fish emulsion, and I might do that this week. I'm not saying that the comfrey fertilizer is not working. I could quite possibly not be putting enough comfrey in the bucket. Who knows? Something I'll research this year and we're in the off season. And then someone mentioned that I should put my comfrey in the ground. I have lots of comfrey in the ground. The one plant that I showed you, that's in a bucket in a pot because I haven't had a chance to put it in the ground. But let me show you, I have lots of comfrey in the ground. That is my comfrey that's in the ground. It's over in the orchard area. So I do read comments. I know I have been horrible at responding to them, but I do read them, and I try to, you know, make a point to mention it when I'm out here doing a tour in hopes that you may see the video and then you will have an answer to your question. And so that's you know, that's where my comfrey is. I only have one comfrey that is growing in a bucket, and because it was the closest, it's what I use to make the fertilizer. So this is where I keep my comfrey fertilizer. It's just in a bucket, and I just come and I stir it. When I originally made it, this bucket top broke. When I originally made it, I put bricks at the bottom, so there are bricks holding down the comfrey. So I just come and I stir it up a little bit, and then because my plants have taken such a hit, I'm gonna do a whole this is basically a cup and a half, and it's not very dark, which makes me wonder also, like, maybe I didn't put enough in there, but I'm sure it still has some kind of nutrients in it. So it's not very dark, but I am still going to use it. And what I'm gonna do is just put this whole half a cup into a 2-gallon waterer. And I have mentioned that I save water, and so this is my rainwater that I save, and I'm just gonna dump this in here. and then fill it up because my tote is not full right now. So it didn't fill up the it didn't fill up the thing the whole way. But I do have more over in the trash cans, but this will probably be enough to water, well, to fertilize. And then I do mix it a little bit just to get it, you know, in the water. And I basically do 1 can to a bed. Try to make sure I get right at the roots, at the plants. I don't really try to put it on the plants per se, because I want it to go into the roots. You can always foliar fertilize. Now, if it doesn't fully like cover, then I'll do another one to get the plants that I did not get. You can foliar fertilize, which is spraying the garden with like a sprayer with the fertilizer in it, because the leaves do pull in nutrients as well. But because I don't have a lot of this fertilizer, I try to put it into the soil and feed the soil. I would do some research on comfrey fertilizing if I were you. I'm one of those people, I don't have to research everything to give it a chance, but if you just want to be sure that what you're doing is absolutely correct, absolutely do some research. I'm just showing you what I do. And I watered really well when I got home yesterday. So at this point, the soil is nice and moist. Perfect time to fertilize. I always say that you want the soil to be moist when you fertilize so that the roots can pull up the fertilizer. If your soil is dry, then they're not going to be able to pull up the fertilizer. So perfect time to fertilize is when your garden is moist. I got water. Come on, come on, come on. Hey, girls. I got water. Look at the door laying on the ground. That's a mess. Oh, God. This crazy. Okay, well, we definitely got to fix that. Oh, I have 3 plants I did not fertilize. That's tough. I'm going to have to do that later. So I'm just moving kind of slowly through the garden tonight. As it relates to fertilizing, so I try to fertilize every week. I missed it last week, but I am going to definitely continue to try to make sure that I fertilize every week. Like I said, I fertilize with comfrey tea, but I am a big fan of fish emulsions. Not using fish emulsions this year only because I'm trying to be a bit more self-sufficient. Someone said community sufficient. However you want to say it, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to learn to garden with what I have, unless I cannot. Like my seedlings did not grow this year. They did grow, they died because I was not taking care of them. The seedlings were not successful this year. And so yes, I did go to the local feed and seed store, and then I did pick up that flat. But for the most part, if I had taken care of those seedlings, I would have planted this whole garden out myself. And now I also want to care for it by myself. That's why I did not go and buy compost to cover all of the beds. I did use it to put it into the holes because I don't have my own compost, but I absolutely can make my own compost. And I actually have a person who saved grass for me. I'm gonna go and pick that up. And next year, they pick on that gray chicken so terrible, y'all. It's crazy. Anyway, and next year, I am going to start my compost bin back up because that is another way for me to be able to say in my backyard, I can grow compost, I can make fertilizer, I can grow my own plants from beginning to end. And so that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, I want to do a front yard orchard, but of course, not of course, but I'm going to buy those trees from the store when I figure out what they are. Broke Farmer talks about citrus trees all the time. He is in Georgia. I'm not sure what his zone is, but he's in Georgia. And so I'm sure he can grow things that I can't grow. But I want to give it a try. Like, I want to grow some citrus. And with that being said, I am going to buy some citrus plants from the store. And I'm not opposed to buying anything from the store, which is how this whole garden got started for fall. But I do want to start to try to be a bit more self-sufficient. It's why I'm learning to bake bread. It's why I'm learning to make my own medicine. All of that is a thing. And when I originally started, I'm so sorry about my neighbor's dog. He literally does not start barking until I start talking. But originally when I started my garden, it was not because I wanted self-sufficiency. It wasn't because I didn't like trust the government. It was none of those things. It was something to do when we all had to stay in the house in 2020. But now I really do, like, it has sparked it in me to learn how to actually use what Mother Nature and the good Lord gives us, right? So I'm very much interested in it. So that's how I'm fertilizing. But I am not against going to the store and grabbing some fish emulsion to see if it will help this garden a little bit more. And the reason why, I know a lot of people are like, just you know, chill out, right? And I am. I'm chill. That's why I'm not pulling things and things like that. But I do think, like I said in my garden tour, that if you give the plants the environment they need, they're going to grow, they're going to rebound. But our first frost is coming soon. Our first frost is in November. And if I can help them to get strengthened a little bit more before that first frost, and for sure that first freeze, I think that would be me being a good steward of my garden. So with that being said, you may see me going to get some fish emulsion. And next year you will see me not, you know what, I can't tell you what's gonna happen next year. Let me not even tell that story, because next year could look like this too. I'm going to try my best for it not to look like this. Next year I'm gonna make sure that I, you know, pull my plants, maybe not take vacation as soon as I did, like I did. Oh girl, I didn't even see you. Hey, when you come outside? Oh, I didn't even see you come outside. No, you can ask me. Oh yeah, you can. You gotta take it out the freezer. Yeah, you making the potatoes? We love you. Love you for cooking for us tonight. She wants to cook tonight, so that's a plus. Oh, I want to show y'all the other bucket of comfrey fertilizer. So when I fertilized the last time, I realized that the fertilizer was not very dark. And I was like, I feel like when I see other people. So I learned this from Hugh. His name is Hugh, I think. Cannot remember his last name, but he's across seas. I don't know why I can't think of the name. He's across seas. And I watched him a lot when I first started gardening. And so I watched him and he talked about comfrey, and I wanted comfrey so bad, and I finally got comfrey. But let me show you the other bucket of comfrey where I put half the amount of water with the same amount of plant matter, and it looks much darker. And I think either I need to add more plant matter if I want to fill the bucket, or if I don't have that amount of plant matter, then I need to put less water, which makes perfect sense. So let me show you that real quick. Okay, so this is the other bucket, right? You see that? And it smells horrible, which is another indication that it's breaking down. But you see how dark that bucket is? It smells absolutely horrible. I think this is more, I'm pretty sure this is more of what this is supposed to look like. So this is the comfrey that's in there. You see the liquid in that? That's more of what it's supposed to look like. And I absolutely wouldn't be able to use a cup and a half of this because it's more potent. Oh, we about to close that. It smells terrible. So when I tell you that I do a lot of things with trial and error, because I feel like I learn better that way, right? I feel like I learn better that way, and maybe that's not the best way, but I learn better trying things myself, trial and error, teaching myself, you know, getting the inspiration from somewhere else, but also teaching myself. By the way, this pineapple sage that you all keep telling me the leaves are edible, which I definitely want to try, it is rooting everywhere. So we are going to pull it, not tonight, and plant it somewhere else. Definitely over in the orchard area. Very bright out here, but it's also very warm. But let me show you all of these roots. I feel like I could just pull a piece off. Someone said that if they just pull a piece off, it's a leaf, plant it in the soil and keep it moist. So we absolutely gonna do that. Shoot, we might as well do it right now, huh? This is just a random night that I'm out here. I knew I needed to fertilize, but I really don't have a lot to do because I don't want to pull the peppers. I don't want to cut the roses yet. So we're just kind of hanging out here. Y'all hang out with me. So you see, these are all roots. They're coming up on their own out of the side of the plant. So I could probably just cut right down here and put this whole thing over in the orchard area. And then I imagine come spring that this will come back up. I have a perfect spot for it, like where the strawberries were that I pulled out earlier this year. I have a perfect spot for it. You know what? We're doing that. Okay, so I went ahead and grabbed my gloves and stuff since we are going to be planting. And we're going to just cut down here at the bottom. We hope, because yeah, that worked. So we took that, and you see all of those roots. I think y'all can see it. It'll probably grow back. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this whole piece over in the orchard area. So right here is where the strawberries were that we pulled out. I'm gonna pull back this wood chips. It's a big layer of wood chips over here. And then we just gonna plant this deep down in this hole, and then we're gonna water it in. Mama, that's you? Hey, son, I just said, where in the world is my son? And when is he waking up? I just said that. Literally just said it. All right, so that's in. I'm gonna grab the water hose. I gotta turn it on. But it's right beside the fig tree. So I think we'll have us a nice little pineapple sage next year right here beside the roses and the fig tree. Okay, so I'm just gonna get some of the water out of the tote. It's not much left, but that's what I'm gonna use to water it in instead of going to turn the water hose on and all of that stuff. Matter of fact, I didn't turn the water hose on to feed the chickens. There's water that's left in the hose, so I just let it sit in the chicken waterer and then it'll fill it up, and then that's how I give them water most of the time, unless I already have the water on, because my whole entire spigot is in the front of the house because I have an older house, and then I have to walk around the front to turn it on, and then for like 98% of the time I forget to turn it off. So that's how I do the chicken and the quail water. It takes a little while, but when I'm out here I just let it sit in there and it works. So we're gonna water that in, and then we're probably gonna go ahead and harvest these peppers, and if I think of something else to do, that's what I'm gonna do. Don't worry, be happy, be happy. Bum, 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 bum. So that quick, I have added another plant to my garden that was gifted to me from my garden. You know, I was thinking it would be a good time to propagate some herbs too. Problem is, like, my time looks terrible. The only herb I could probably propagate right now would be some rosemary. And I do want more rosemary in the garden, but yeah. But it would be a perfect time to try to do that. Let's go harvest these peppers. By the way, one of my limbs broke on my moringa. So I think I'm just gonna take it, and then I'm gonna take that in the house, and I'm gonna try some tea with it. It broke. Pretty leaves. All the leaves look real good on it though. Somebody asked me, like, do I find that moringa needs extra care? I do not. Like, I don't do anything extra to those moringa. Essentially, they get the same watering as everybody else. They get everything else. They get the same fertilization as everything else. So no, I don't see that they need anything extra. I do think that if you overwater them, and I'll tell you why I say that, is if you overwater them, that they take a hit, because I had the sprinkler that was going this way right beside them, and they got way overwatered, and things started turning yellow, and leaves and limbs started dying. So I do think that if you overwater them, and I believe that they like a lot of heat. Somebody correct me, but are they tropical plants? I don't know. But I do know that, thank you, I do know that if they get overwatered, that they start to show the signs of being overwatered. So I will say that there aren't a lot of things that I do different things for in my garden, if that makes sense. Like, there aren't things, I mean, the blueberries. So the blueberries get a different fertilizer. They like wood chips. So I do a little bit different for the blueberries. But like, the plants, everybody get the same thing around here. Everybody get the same thing. So let's harvest some peppers. We have quite a few. So we're not gonna take the green since we're not gonna pull the plants, but we have quite a few cayenne peppers that are red. So we're gonna take those. And I'm honestly probably going to dry these and some of the other ones that's in the house that are already dry. I'm gonna put them in Mylar bags because we do not use these a lot. And I do give them to the chickens, but even the chickens don't eat them that much. So I'm probably gonna put those in Mylar bags because they will stay fresh a lot longer in Mylar bags. I did a reel today about Mylar bags. And it was sponsored. That's what I think I'm gonna do with, cause I have more cayennes in the house. I have a large jar, which is what, a quart, and I have a pint jar. I'm sorry about the lighting, but you know, and I have a pint jar. So I'm going to probably put them in Mylar bags. We have a lot of shishito peppers on this plant. I'm not even sure that I realized that this was a shishito pepper plant, but it's a lot of shishito peppers on it. And they're much bigger than I normally take them, but I am happy for them. I think I mentioned like that was one of the reasons why I was holding on to the peppers, is because I wanted to get another shishito pepper harvest, and I got one. I think I mentioned before that shishito peppers will turn red. They turn red, it's quite possible they definitely gonna be hot. All shishito peppers are not hot. I keep laughing at Broke every time he say he ain't eating no more because he just keep getting hot peppers. Some of them are hot, but not all of them. And then I was watching, I think her name is Sage and Stone. Y'all should check her channel out if you haven't heard of her. I love her channel. And she said that like she was underwhelmed by the taste. And I was like, how? I think her name is Heather over on Sage and Stone. Do you all watch Sage and Stone? We just out here, y'all. But yeah, she was like, she was underwhelmed by them. I absolutely love them. So one of the plants that I plan to try to overwinter is this one right here. It is the Vevor or Zone, I think it's called. It's the one that gave me these little purple peppers, but I'm interested to see if I take care of them, how much better this plant will grow. It's mixed in with something else that's not on its thing, but this is one that I'm planning to overwinter. And just as a FYI, them white moths is still out here. And somebody told me the other day that when I was doing, I guess it was my tour, that they saw a caterpillar on one of my plants. It was on the Snapdragon. It's always on the Snapdragon. I'm not really pulling them off of the Snapdragon, and it's not a cabbage moth that's on that. It is just some type of caterpillar, unless you know that a cabbage moth turns into that, and then I'm wrong. And I probably should pull it off, but I didn't. It's been there. I just leave it. It's nature. The things that are going to kill my garden is what I pull. If it's not gonna kill my plant, I really don't worry about it. I let it stay here. It's outside, so, but I did, it's been there. It's been there for quite some time. I don't know, it doesn't seem to be eating the Snapdragon though. It's just there. So, as I understand it, caterpillars turn into beautiful butterflies. So if it's not a caterpillar that's gonna eat my garden, I don't worry about it. It's kind of like the spiders. They're good for the garden, but I don't try to get rid of them. Only thing I'm gonna try to get rid of is a snake, baby. I mean, that's not killing the garden. And the snake, no matter what y'all say, I'm scared of them. And so I can't possibly take care of my garden if I don't wanna come out in it. So it's a small pepper harvest. I took them if they were blushing as well as if they were already ready. So reason why I took the blushing ones is because we don't have a lot of time left on these peppers. So they would continue to put their energy into continuing to ripen those when they will ripen in the house just fine. I would rather the plants attempt to try to give me more peppers before I can't get any more for this season. And a lot of the plants do still have quite a bit of flowers on them. And so with that being said, if I could possibly between now and sometime in November get more peppers, that's what I would prefer. So that's what I'm doing. I am taking them as they blush as a way to hopefully get more. So listen, the way I'm just sitting in this chair, I'm literally just sitting in this chair, like looking in the garden, which I haven't done in so long, really. Like, not just sitting out here. Like, I have come out here to sit and look at everything that I need to get done, but most things are done now. I haven't done it in a while. It is wonderful. I will tell y'all, it is wonderful. Listen, if you don't have a seating area, get a seating area if you can. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. But it is really nice to have a seating area in the garden. I was in the greenhouse for a little while. I am now sitting over in the Homestead that I got, that I had told y'all about. I'll link it if you're interested. But it is so useful. But my point in coming back to talk to y'all was, I want to see what's in these potato bags. The potatoes that volunteer. I know it's kind of early, but we're not gonna harvest them. We're not gonna dump the whole bag, but we're definitely getting ready to dig down in these bags. All right, let's see what these volunteers then gave us, y'all. This is a very random little video tonight. I know it, but you know what? It is what it is. It's what I do out in the garden. I really do. Y'all seeing a real day of me just sitting out here. Oh, it's a potato in there, y'all. I don't think y'all can see it. It's a purple one right there. We're gonna leave it. Y'all see that? It's a purple one, but we're gonna put it back down in this little hole. But this is the kind of stuff I do out here. Oh, it broke. It's okay. It can go in there with the rest of them. But this is why. This is why you should not do it. Because that probably would have gave me a nice little potato. Let's see. This one did. So whatever was in there won't go grow anyway. And it's still trying to sprout. Y'all see that? Let's see. I'm digging it easily. It was probably a tiny little potato anyway that volunteered. But there was a potato down here. It probably was the only one. I don't grow potatoes well. Nope, there's another one in there. Nice. We're going to get us some volunteer potatoes, y'all. And that's a nice size one right now. And oh, there go another one. Oh, excited. I know y'all can't see it, but it was the blue Adirondack ones. And I had left some in there. They look more purple than blue. But let's see what's going on over here in this one.
Well.
Oh, there's a red one in there. So yeah, we got some potatoes in there. I'm excited about that. I'm gonna leave them though. These ones succumb to my nosiness. But we gonna leave the rest though. We're just gonna leave that plant until it freezes, and then we'll dump this bag and see what we got. But there are definitely potatoes in there. By the way, my chickens have stopped laying. And most of them still have stopped laying. But the little gray one, she started laying again. She's giving me one pretty little blue egg a day. And I'm happy about that. I got 2 out of there this morning. Okay, so maybe not a day because I was gone. She might be doing like 2 she might be doing 2 or 3 a week. But I'm happy about that because everybody has stopped laying. It's the time of year when it gets colder and when the days get shorter, the chickens stop laying. In their first year, they may lay all the way through. But their second year, they don't lay like that. And so this is her second year. I got her last year. And so she's still laying. I'm very happy about that because they had all stopped. So this nice. I ain't getting no quail eggs while I was gone. But we're gonna put them in the incubator tomorrow. We're gonna be in the house tomorrow, so I'm gonna do some preserving. I might wait to do my bread for that one too, to try to do that again. But yeah, we're gonna be inside tomorrow doing a little bit of normal inside homestead and stuff, because I do have some things I need to put up and things like that. So you know what else I'm trying to do? I'm trying to start, even if I buy something from the grocery store, instead of letting it go bad, I'm trying to preserve it, whether that's dehydrating or drying or whatever the case may be. Because, you know, if something were to happen and I couldn't get to the grocery store didn't have what I wanted, those things would work. So I am trying to work on that a little bit more to have a lot more time now, which I'm still enjoying that too. Kind of life update for y'all. I'm still enjoying this. Like, I keep saying I don't know why I did not do this sooner. But, you know, you do things in the time that it was supposed to be done. But I am still enjoying it. Still have not regretted one day of making the decision that I made. And I am really enjoying it. I will tell you though, being a content creator ain't as easy as people think. My neighbor's kids are outside. But being a content creator is not as easy as you think. Like, you have to have a schedule. And if you start getting sponsors, you absolutely have to have a schedule. I mean, it is a blessing though. It is 100% a blessing, because this is what I said. I said, if I could do this for my job, I would love to do it. But you got to have a plan, babe. And I remember like saying, you know, when I heard influencers or whatever say they were stressed, I would be like, what could they be stressed about? Girl, I ain't stressed. But when I tell you I got a schedule, I have a schedule. And on the days that I miss scheduled time, ooh. Anyway, but yeah, I am still enjoying this. I am still happy that I made my decision. I'm still happy that I get to come over here and talk to y'all, even though I'm not doing well at answering comments, but I am trying. I'm trying to get better at it. So I'm doing that, but like just being able to sit out here on a Sunday night and I don't have to get ready for tomorrow morning to go to work, it's amazing. My sister asked me the other day, because I was kind of telling her what I had to do and things like that, and she asked me like, how do you feel? And I said, honest truth, I just feel grateful. I feel grateful that even if this does not last for you know, a long time, I have this time. It has been since October the 20th, and I'm still enjoying it. And I will be grateful for whatever time I was given to be able to experience not having to get up and go to work somewhere or work for someone else. I will tell you that. So a little life update for you while I sit out here and do nothing. And so I got up and just started walking around. But y'all know what I wish? I wish the leaves would hurry up and fall. That's what I use to mulch my bags. But our leaves are still pretty green. And then the other problem is, well, not problem so much, is we mulch the front yard, and that's where we would get all of our leaves from. So now I don't really know how to get the leaves, because I can't really run the lawnmower over them. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna have to figure that out, because I need those leaves. I really do. Oh, also, I'm probably gonna use some of the grass that the friend is sending me to mulch the bags too, because while it's green, it'll sit on there, you know, but it'll die back and then it'll turn brown, and that'll be mulched too, and then it'll also go back into the soil. So I really need to go pick up that grass, if I'm honest, from him, so that I can use that to mulch some of the bags as well. I'm just checking for worms in case there are any. I do not want them to multiply on this. And I'm seeing like this is a new leaf, and I'm seeing that it's kind of eaten up. This is a cabbage, but I don't see any worms. So maybe, yeah, I don't see any. Maybe it moved along. It had a little meal and then it moved along, because I don't see anything on it. So yeah, it's okay. It's another one. The new leaves look pretty good. Just kind of looking around out here, but it's about to get dark. I don't know how much more I'm going to be able to record anyway, because my neighbor's kids are having a ball, and I love that for them. It's about to get cold. I'm missing the summer so much already. I saw a sign this weekend that said, and just like that, summer collapsed into fall. Love fall, love the fall gardening season, but absolutely love summer more. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It wasn't like the normal ones, but if you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram, where I post about the things going on in the garden just about every day. Bye, y'all.